It's exactly 19 minutes past 10 here in the studio of Apex One Radio. Time for us to start receiving our guests. And the first on our lineup are actors of Maija. Maija is a film which is upcoming. It will be released anytime soon. It's produced by Karl Safindah and KarlNjuma with some frontline Cameroonian actors, including Jeffery, Epule, Otia Vitalis. But today we are receiving 3 actors in that movie who are young yet so talented. They are now joining us from Boya. We have Martha Mwambo, there is Beatrice Mokake, and of course Emmanuele Mosoko. How are you guys doing? Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Mr. Broadcaster. Thank you for having us.
I like that name, Mr. Broadcaster. So how are you guys doing? How is
Mr.
Boya today?
To be precise. Sorry.
How is Boya this Saturday afternoon?
Boya is great. Sunny.
Yeah,
nice.
A little bit sunny than usual.
Okay. Wow. So it's what about the seven days rain in Boya? Is it over?
Almost. It's almost
right.
end of the season.
And so we have 3 young people who are making strides in the 7th art. They are all actors, very fantastic actors, of course. And I can assure you that they are featuring in Maija. Maija is an upcoming Cameroonian movie that is done entirely in the Bakweri language. Am I correct?
Sure,
Yes, you are.
right.
Beautiful. So is it a long film or a short film?
It's a short film. It's a short film. Yes.
Okay. What is the length of the film?
I wouldn't be precise because the director and the producer are fully concerned with the length of it. But what we know is that it's a short film.
Beautiful. KarlNjuma is now joining us from Baltimore. He is one of the producers of Maija. Karl, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Mr. Ernest. Thank you for having me.
How are you, and how is Baltimore this morning?
Baltimore is Baltimore, always Baltimore.
Baltimore is doing great this morning, I guess.
Yes.
All right. So I was just about to know how long Maija is. I'm told it is a short film.
Maija is in length. Maija is 29 minutes 41 seconds to be precise.
29 minutes 41. Wow, that's great. And the film is done entirely in Bakweri.
Yes, you're very correct.
Is this the first film you are doing entirely in a mother tongue? I know you've produced other films.
Yes, this is the first project I actually did in Bakweri. We actually did in Bakweri entirely.
What was the goal? Now the world is global, and you don't expect people in Madagascar, people in Australia to understand Bakweri.
Okay, basically, I'll start by talking about the Bakweri culture. The Bakweri culture in itself is it's very rich, and most people don't know about the Bakweri culture. And I think, first of all, to improve on my culture and sell it in the global stage, it was an opportunity for me to present the Bakweri language, the culture to the world. And secondly, the story behind Maija is uniquely tied to the Bakweri culture. Like, with no Bakweri culture, there will be no Maija.
Wow.
And plus, you sell your story better, you sell it in its original form. If Maija was done in English, if there was English on the project, I'm very sure you'd have killed the entire value of the production.
Originality there. Maija is a short film, 29 minutes 41 seconds. A film shot in Boya, I guess. And let me go back to the actors in the movie. Beginning with Martha, how did you get on this project?
Okay, I once worked with our producer here, Mr. Njuma, and Karl, Safindah, and our director, Nkanya Nkwai. So Nkanya and Karl Safindah texted me and said they wanted me to work in a project that is coming up in January. That was in December when he texted. So that's how I got to the movie, to the project.
And what character are you playing in the movie?
Namundo.
Namundo, okay. Next, little Emmanuel, how are you doing today?
Fine.
Emmanuel is doing fine. Emmanuel, tell me about the character you're playing in this film.
I play like the little boy.
Oh, the little boy. Okay. Beatrice, tell us about your character in Maija.
I played the role of Njuma, Namundo's best friend.
And how did you get on this project?
I don't differ much from her experience. It's just merely because of the connection I have with the producers, Karl, Safindah, and Njuma Karl, and the director too. And I must say that it is a plus being a Bakweri person, because since the movie is in Bakweri, I needed to be fluent, so that gave me an advantage.
Beautiful. I know of Martha. She's done many movies and short ones also that have even won awards. Tell us, Beatrice, for how long have you been in the movies? For how long have you been acting, and what motivated you into this art?
I've been acting since I was 14, and yes, I got in from the High Talent show, and since then I've been following on some few projects. I have so far been in Samba, Fisherman's Diary, just to name a few that I can remember right now. So that's just, and then Maija came. It's the latest I've done so far. Beautiful.
Emmanuel, how did you get into the movies? For how long have you been acting?
4 months ago.
Oh, Emmanuel only got in months ago. We're looking forward to watch Maija, and hopefully we will appreciate your performance. Karl, tell us, why should Maija at this time? Was there any particular motivation? Was there something you wanted to tell the world?
Well, basically, I did conceive the project of Maija like 5 years ago while I was in Cameroon. Maija started as the movie project everybody knew as Ngalle. So I was a semi-final. I was blessed to be a semi-finalist of the Mandela Washington Fellowship, an initiative by President Obama to empower young African leaders. So while presenting my project at the American Embassy, I came in contact with a girl who is in America today by name Epamba Comfort. She had a project on menstruation and pads. So while sitting in the hall, I was just like, wow, she did a very impressive presentation, sorry. So all through, I've been thinking about doing a project on menstruation or something. So at that point, I was like, why don't I take this project to my culture, since I know, because I'm a Bakwerian too.
Right.
I know the Bakweri culture is extremely rich. So upon doing my research, I discovered that menstruation was closely tied to albinism in the Bakweri culture. So that's when I conceived the project. And it started as Ngalle, but due to 1 or 2 technical reasons, we could not come out in Ngalle, though it was shot, never released or anything. That's how it transformed to Maija. We did 1 or 2 touches. And the goal of the project was it's an educative project. Like my friend Safindah Karl always says, it's a project born of a need to address the societal issues.
Right.
Like the discriminations on albinos and how people mystify menstruation, particularly in motherland where we come from, Africa to be precise.
Film born of the need to address a societal issue. Maija is a short film produced by KarlNjuma and Karl Safindah, directed by Nkanya Nkwai, featuring Martha Mwambo, Emmanuele Mosoko, and Beatrice Mokake, and scores of other frontline actors. Now, let me go back to the actors. Martha, Emmanuel, Beatrice, tell me about your experience shooting this movie. How was the rapport on set between the cast and the technical crew? Who goes first?
I'll go first.
Okay.
The experience on set was quite a little different from other sets because you meet new people and you have to learn how to get along with each other. But if it comes to the director, it was cool because that was not the first time I'd worked with him. If it came to the producer here, Mr. Njuma, that was not the first time I'd worked with him, so it was cool. The little bit of difficulties I faced was speaking in Mugwe. To be honest, I'm Bakweri, but there was sometimes I thought that, and I would not be perfect as my grandmother would be, and that was what we were looking for, to be perfect, so that it goes out there, so that the culture goes out there.
Right.
But so far, it was cool.
Beatrice, was the rapport, did the chemistry flow?
Yes, it did. It was a wonderful experience. I don't want to speak too soon, but this might be the best project I've done.
Okay.
Like the best I've done. Reason being that it gave me the opportunity to experience my tradition because I live in Boya, yes, and that's a place for Bakweri people. But I won't lie to you, I'm not really versed with the tradition.
Okay.
So yeah, the movie gave me an opening. A very big opening, and it was wonderful. I was very excited, especially when I heard that it's going to be in Bakweri. Very challenging, but exciting.
Emmanuel, was this your first movie?
Yes.
And did you like the experience?
Yes, it was nice.
Okay, that's interesting. Now, let me go back to Karl. Tell me quickly, was the movie scripted?
Yes, it was scripted.
Okay, and scripted in Bakweri?
Yeah, initially the movie was scripted in English, and then we had the translator come on set and translate everything to Bakweri. Okay,
because now I'm curious. Bakweri would definitely be more difficult to read than English. So even when you are Bakweri, so how did the actors do it? Let me go back to them. Tell me, were you kind of doing your lines as scripted, or you were improvising?
Okay, the script was, thanks to the producers, the script reached us before it was shooting time.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we had the opportunity to be able to learn our lines and translate them to Mokwe before we went on set. Though we went on set, the translator had to do a little corrections here and there, and then see what will go and what will not go, because English and Mokwe is not the same.
It doesn't go
directly. You have to look for some words to substitute. Yeah.
Okay. So were you satisfied with your performance?
That's all.
Satisfied with the performance? Beatrice, were you satisfied with your performance?
Yes, I can say I was satisfied, but I cannot really say for sure. But I must say,
let's just wait for the movie.
We'll wait for the movie.
Beautiful.
But we did our best.
We'll definitely wait for the movie. Karl, tell me, you have the products which will be released. I don't know when, but tell me, when you go through it, are you satisfied? Did the actors give you what you wanted?
I didn't hear you, sir.
So did the actors give you the kind of performance you wanted for your film? Are you satisfied?
I would say yes, they did what I expected. There's no perfect movie project, and people refer to Martha in the US as the Taraji of Cameroon.
Right.
The teaser, the thriller, or anything, the Martha Beatrice too is highly commended, and my brother and friend, he's a big actor, so I need not make mention. Epule, Jeffery, everybody is like.
Yeah.
Okay. So tell us a little bit in a few seconds about director Nkanya Nkwai. How did you get him on the project?
Well, Nkanya Nkwai has been a friend for years, and he's been my friend for a minute. But when I came up with the project, I came up with a project with Safindah. So we were like, who can direct this project best? So we had a fight over that. Initially, Nkanya is my man, my very good friend. I call him Mr. Mayo. So I was like, I don't think this is the movie for Nkanya Nkwai. Safindah was, I think it's the movie for Nkanya Nkwai. So we had this back and forth going on for like 2 weeks to 3, and then we both decided that we should use Nkanya. But actually, I saw what he meant by Nkanya was the man for the job.
Okay.
And just like Martha, at first time, I did not think Martha was the person for the job. Then Nkanya Nkwai and Safindah Karl pressed so hard on me to the extent that I could not say no. And then finally, I see the end product, and I'm like, you were absolutely wrong.
Right. So we're about to run off. Let me go back to the actors. Quickly tell me, why do you think this movie should be watched, even by people who are not Bakwerians?
Bakweri, or the Bakweri people are part of Africa and part of the world. If we can watch people from the other parts of the world and copy their culture and want to do like them, then there is every reason why other people should want to watch and see us and learn our very, very rich culture that we have, and then learn our stories that happened even before people like me was born and other people. So I think that should be number one reason why they should watch the movie. And then number two reason is because we want to make our people very, very proud. We want to do more than Cameroon.
There's a lot.
We want to go out of Cameroon. There's a lot to tell.
And there's a lot to know about it. This is just the beginning.
All right. So, a little Emmanuel, are you promising whoever is going to watch this movie that they won't waste their time?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. The movie is subtitled, I guess, Karl.
Yes, it's subtitled in English and French.
So when are you releasing it?
As of now, it's not my decision, and the entire team haven't agreed on a particular set date and time. So for now, we'll still put it on hold.
Are you planning a premiere for it?
We're planning something like not a premiere, a preview, but after the festivals, because we did the movie as a festival movie. We want to submit for festivals first, and then we get to the previews and all of that.
Okay, so I want to thank you guys so much for joining us on the show to talk about Maija. We'll definitely come back to it when it's time for it to be made public. So congrats on the great job you are doing, and do have a fantastic rest of the weekend.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye
you
for
for
now.
having me.
Bye.